I'm standing here with Eric from Manchester, Free Stater, who moved to New Hampshire for more freedom. From where?
Maryland.
Oh, that's a lot more freedom.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh,
Even
that's
better.
even a lot more freedom.
Yes.
So I guess the answer to the next question is not going to be hard to formulate. How did that improve your life?
Drastically in many, many levels. New Hampshire's been a dream, actually. Everything up here is just... Well, one of the greatest things that comes up a lot is the crime rate of Baltimore. I would say, as a safe guess, that at least 1 out of every 3 people I knew living in the state of Maryland were victims of violent crime. My brother was a victim of armed robbery. My roommate was carjacked about a week before I left Baltimore. So that has been very freeing, especially with New Hampshire just getting voted the safest state in the union, 3rd year in a row now. It's been like night and day. Just the character of the people, they're so much more polite, they're so much more willing to simply interact with a stranger on the street. So...
What was the hardest part, though, about moving up here?
Oh, that's easy, just leaving friends and family behind. I made myself a little deal that I'd get back to Maryland at least once every quarter, 4 times a year. That was my compromise to leaving them behind.
And, you know, what kind of activism have you found? How long ago did you move?
I moved up conveniently on 8808.
Oh, I first started my first job on 8888.
Okay, well.
But anyway.
Some numerology for you.
That was a move too. But yeah, so you've been here for a little while, and what kind of activism have you found yourself drawn toward the most?
Well, it's a tough question. Activism-wise, done a couple flyering campaigns, especially with the seatbelt law. Those were successful. Especially, I got up here right around the time the campaigning started, so being a new mover, I had lots of free time to help several people in the campaigns. That was a nice step. I've actually been somewhat motivated with the situation regarding Mike Tyner and his brutal treatment at the hands of the police. That was a real eye-opening experience.
Yeah, he was, I guess he had a minor warrant out, you know, for disorderly conduct or something like that, and they went to his house with guns drawn. So
yes, they did. Not guns drawn. They refused to show a warrant when asked for a warrant, and they threatened to kick down the door without showing warrants. And upon entering the building, they did not hesitate in moving aggressively and forcefully and pointing guns in people's faces. You know, you read about all of this police corruption and federal air marshals doing craziness and all of these government organizations doing horrible things to people, but when you actually see it in front of you, when you see your friend pushed down, put in chains, dragged through the street simply for entertainment purposes, deliberately thrown onto his head.
This was on a different arrest?
Yes.
Yeah, when he was arrested for being at the 420 protest and
he was
bumping into an
arrested
officer.
because he had his video camera out. And the police didn't like that he was videotaping them. So he was very purposefully singled out for that occurrence.
Yeah.
But it's one thing to see it face to face, to see the corruption and the violence.
Right, and it's everywhere. I mean, the cops are not as bad here as they are in Maryland, but they're bad here too.
Oh, yeah.
The I guess the other question I would have is what kind of message would you have for folks who are considering moving out here for more freedom?
The phrase I like is "get off your butt."
That's not exactly how you put it to me earlier.
Not earlier, but butt is the right term. I'd moved to New Hampshire, but I have a good job. I want to fight for liberty, but all my friends are here. That's what I'm talking about. Get off your butt, stop making excuses, fight for what you really believe in.
Yeah, I have this saying that I've been kind of poking around with lately is like in a military simulation, you know, a game, strategic game or something like that, you always move your units to your other units before you move them toward the opponent. So I think that's what's happening in New Hampshire. We're moving the Liberty units toward the other Liberty units, not bunching them, but getting them close enough that they can support each other.
Absolutely. I would say that's a fair assessment of how this is all working. Just people from all walks of life getting together, pursuing the many paths to liberty.
All right, Eric, good to have you here, and
Great
thanks
to be
for
here.
being on the Ridley Report.